I'd like to take you on a journey on how I created this 3 signature journal. I'm not finished decorating it yet, but I did want to bring you along to show you how you can make the base so that you too can make yourself one of these. I can't even get it all on screen. And it has 6 bead dangles. Oh, I love this one. So I hope you join me. So I'm going to be starting another journal. The question is, where on earth do you start when you want to make a journal? Well, I have started. I have fussy cut lots of things that would go with the papers that I want to use. So the first thing that I would say is I like to select my papers first. These happen to be from Rach and Bella Crafts. So I started with my papers. I have a little bit of the coffee dyed tracing papers. I love the way it makes a journal sound and feel. And then I decided that I would like to do an altered file folder. So the file folder is the base for my project. So I have already folded my little file folder. So let me see if I can show you what I did. I took my folder and I opened it up. And I folded up, it would be this end because my little notches are over here. So it would be at this bottom end. I folded it up 2.5 inches and I creased it. Let me bring this back in so I can say the next fold that I made was at 4.5 inches. So it looks like I started like this and I folded the bottom up and then I folded this over 4.5 inches and I creased it. So then it would be like this. This is the original fold for the file folder. So you can fold it. And then I folded the other end over like this. This fold right here is about 4 1/4 inches from the widest portion. Then I cut my pockets. So everywhere there was a fold except for my center fold, which was original to the file folder. I cut a notch out, a pie shape out. That just keeps it from becoming too bulky. On the front of the journal, I decided I'd like a pocket. So I turned the pocket on the outside because now that you've made notches in them, you can move them from the front side or the back side of the paper. Here is the center, and I did not notch it out, so it's still together, the pocket. And then I brought this pocket on the inside as well. So the back has no pocket at all. It's going to be flat. Then I have to decide, what do I want to cover it with? Do I want to cover it with those pretty papers I just showed you? Do I want to use book pages? Do I want to use a paper pad paper? I really think I want to use some book pages on here. So it makes this shape. If you turn it this way, it would be an M, but this is the bottom. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I know it can be extremely confusing on how did you fold it. I was looking through my book pages and I wanted something large enough to cover all of my file folder. So I came up with these large music papers, and then I have a book that's like a dictionary that's very large. So I'll be using the music paper and the dictionary page. So I've decided to use my homemade tear ruler and tear a strip to fit right here in this section. At least that's my thought. So first I want to tear off the borders. Now I need to decide, do I want to cover up my tab as well? All right, let's see. How are we liking this? Do we like it? Do I not like it? All right, so let me show you how it looks so far. I've got my little pieces in there, and my little pockets come up like this. And then on this flap, my pocket goes the other way, because this is gonna be my cover, like this. My page was so long that I was able to fold it over, so I've got part of the other side covered, and I really like folding it over because it finishes off the top so very nicely. Let me cover this portion and then I'll show you how it looks. So we have our pocket right here in the front, and then we open it up and we have another pocket right here, and then we flip it over one more time. We have a pocket here and we have a pocket here, and then this is the back. So I really like covering it with the music paper and the book page. I think that looks really nice. And so this is our base, and we can build on this. Now I am going to take it to the machine. I am going to sew all the way around. I'm going to open it all up. I'm going to sew the pockets. And so when I put the pockets on, it'll be sewn on the top. I think I'll glue the pockets on, but I will sew around the pockets. I have sewn around the edge, like I was telling you. I haven't put the pockets on yet. I think that's the next thing to do. I'll glue the pockets in place. I did sew right down here, so these pockets are more like tuck spots on the side. So I paper clipped the two pockets that I glued. The center one I'm going to leave as a tuck spot like this. I think I'll be able to use it a little easier that way. These are the pages that I chose, Rach and Bella Crafts. We need to fold them, and I don't know if I have enough room to do fold outs, or if I just need to simply just fold them and not have fold outs. You know what I mean by fold outs. So like if I would fold it like this and then I'd fold it back on itself, you would have a fold out that would fold the page out. All right, so I have my little signature, and I do have a couple fold outs. I have some coffee dye tracing paper. I don't know if I'll keep the fold outs, but I have two there. And then this is my center. Now, like I said, I can't have a lot of pages in here, but I think these will work out fine. I can go ahead and take off my paper clips. I don't need them anymore. I don't think that's too many in the signature, too many pages. Now I need to decide, what do I want for my cover of my signature? I'm kind of thinking I would like this, the potting shed. So if I change it and I make this the potting shed as my cover, then I can put the birdies next. Then I won't have two flip outs right in a row. Pinning in the signature and placing my holes for my signature. I'm going to add dangles, so I'm going to need a little extra thread. All right, let's see how this is coming along. We have our signature and it's all sewn in. Oh, I love it. Okay. So what do we want to do with the second area? I could make a thinner signature, not as wide. 3 3/4 inches, we'd have to bring it back to probably 3.5 inches wide. All right, so I'm going to fold a few more pages for our second signature, which is really going to be the first signature. We just put in this one back here because it was wider. How much wider is it? Yeah, quite a bit, because I didn't want it to show. I just thought it would be important not to show. All right, I've made my other signature, and I decided to go with the potting bench. And we have the tracing paper and those birds, some more tracing paper, a fold out, and then our center. So I have my cheat sheet from my previous signature that I sewed in. So what I'll need to do very first is position this exactly how I want it to be, and then paper clip it in. If anyone doesn't know about my cheat sheet, I get a scrap piece of paper the length of the journal. It's about 1 inch to 2 inches wide. I fold it in half the long way and then 2 more times and crease it well. And where the folds intersect, I put a dot. And when I put this into the spine, it shows me exactly where I need to make my holes with my awl. Evenly spaced signature. I love this method. And I would like dangles for this one too. And we have our first signature that we just sewed in. I love it. We have a little fold out here, whether we make it into a pocket or leave it as a fold out. There's another fold out, a lot larger. And then we have a pocket here and a pocket here. And then our second signature, and then another pocket, and then the back cover. Now, it's still kind of an accordion. I do have some pages left, and the other option is I could put another signature here. And then it would open up here, and I'd have to just tie it closed, I think. I think that would be the only way to do that, is to tie it closed. I've sewn in the third signature. This is the front, so signature, signature, signature. I did pull out this flat lace that I have, and I think it would be beautiful on here. I love how this has come together. I absolutely love these long bead dangles, and there's 6 of them. I'll continue decorating this, and hopefully I'll be able to offer it next Sunday in Shop the Restock. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.